do the... Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي اشدد به أزري وأشركه في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم. ربنا اغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين آمين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين. Now, and would you like to introduce the subject, what we have been doing?
Oh,
From
sure. Well, we did the 8th proof.
Yeah.
We stopped at the passage that begins with "in short."
Mhm.
So I will start reading from there.
Yeah. We are really, we remember that we have been following a discussion between two friends, but in fact, we said two friends represent two sides of human beings, spirit and whispering side of human beings that opposes what the spirit offers them. And also in between going, the argument is taken from one side, only the spirit side is speaking, and whispering side, denying side, rejecting self-centered side of human being is listening now. And let me see. And the main point was everything was an inscription, and whoever moved me also moved the roll of cloth of which I am a part, which means how the things are happening here really in the world. So whether they may happen by themselves or they have an owner. So in this story, the story says there is a country, and these two people found themselves in this country. One of them said, "Oh, everything is so well arranged and perfectly prepared for us. There must be an owner of this country." The other one says, "No, I don't see anything. I see only what the word is or appears to be. So I don't care about what the owner or not." And then he said, "No, it is very dangerous to take this attitude because the owner will be very disappointed and punish us." Why? Because we mistreated his property, and as if we are not accepting the authority of the owner over the land. So this argument goes on, and this is what we have as answered. We discussed this towards the end of 8th proof. So in short now.
So I just want to add one more thing from the previous, the text above, "in short," still in the 8th proof. My summary Of course, yours is a summary better than mine, but what struck me from the eighth proof was that every element is a building block for every other element.
Mm.
I like this concept of small to big, starting with the smallest element belonging to the creator up to the largest element built from that smallest element also belongs to the creator. So everything appearing in the country is made of those elements. I like that concept. That struck me. Anyway, okay, so I'll start reading in short. Just as the elements in this country all surround and encompass it, and their owner can only be one who owns the whole country, in the same way, since the works of art that are spread throughout it resemble one another and display a single stamp, they show that they are the art of a single person who governs everything.
Yeah, that is what exactly you
Yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah.
Yeah, it is just what you said, summarized it. So
Yeah, that's what the in short
yeah,
is. Yeah. And
we can continue.
okay. And so, my friend, there is a sign of oneness, a stamp of unity in this country, that is this magnificent palace. For while being the same, certain things are all encompassing. And while being numerous, some display a unity or similarity, since they resemble one another and are found everywhere.
Hmm.
As for unity, it shows one of unity. That means that its maker, owner, lord, and fashioner has to be one and the same.
Hmm. Because they look like each other and they are everywhere, not exactly the same, though. They resemble each other, but not exactly the same. And so we can understand that although, let's say, all the, um, I don't know, tangerine trees similar to each other, and all over this globe of Earth, we can find them. All the stars, they are similar to each other, and all the sky is full of stars, but resemble each other, not exactly the same. So if one star belongs to someone, and the similar ones must belong to that one as well. And if you see that all the sky is uh, uh, full of the same resembling stars, we can say that whoever owns one star must be the owner of the whole sky, because they resemble each other, the way they act, not exactly the same. That is interesting. That is why I highlighted this, a stamp of unity. So you understand that the whole universe must belong to one source, who we can only, this is important, by studying the way a star or the way an orange tangerine tree or the way a cell in the body of a living being works. If I understand that it cannot happen by itself, I don't have to go all the tangerine trees and then all the plants and then all the animals, because they have same kind of similar resembling cells, not exactly the same, but resembling in their structure. I don't have to go all over the universe to see if there is anything may not belong to the one who is the creator of this cell or this tangerine or this star I am studying. So if I conclude about one star, that's enough. One cell, that's enough. Does it make sense? This is unity in the universe.
Should I continue?
No, does it make sense?
Oh, it makes sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, if it makes sense to you and to me and other friends also are not objecting now, so we can go ahead, inshallah.
Okay, let's see. Okay. I left off at in addition, right? Yes. In addition, oh, as for unity, it shows one of unity. That means that its maker, owner, lord, and fashioner has to be one and the same. In addition, look carefully at this. From behind the veil of the unseen, a thickish string has appeared. Your footnote says trees, their flowers, strings, and fruits. The full footnote, if I can just read it.
So you can actually read the original text. This
Okay.
is my very, very brief summary.
Yes. No, those are always helpful.
Yeah.
The thickish string alludes to fruit-bearing trees, the thousands of strings to their branches, and the diamond's decorations, favors, and gifts to the varieties of blossoms and fruits.
Yeah,
Now,
you
yeah.
see,
So the strings are the branches, and at the ends of the branches are not only the fruit, but the author calls them diamonds, decorations, favors, and gifts.
not ordinary priceless being. Yeah, very precious. Yeah, very, very, I mean, uh, no one can make it.
Well, I like the fact that the author is comparing or equating fruits with diamonds and gifts because they are just as valuable. Okay, I'll keep reading. Now look, thousands of strings have hung down from it. And see the tips of the strings? A diamond, a decoration, a favor, a gift has been attached to each. Suitable presents are being given to everyone. Do you know what a lunatic action it is not to recognize or thank the one who stretches out from behind the strange veil of the unseen such wondrous favors and gifts?
Yeah. Now, I uh, uh, made bold from behind the strange veil of the unseen. I think we touched upon it on several occasions, but this is what most of the time I am neglectful about. Why? Because I don't see the agent. I don't feel within myself as a result of my negligence. I I'm obliged to be thankful to acknowledge him. That is the secret of the creation, in fact. But we have to bear in mind that uh, although I don't see my feelings, I use them. And although I don't see the agent of or actor or doing, somebody is doing or something is doing, for example, if I see that there was a tree quite strong or not very old, but it was knocked down. I always look for a reason or the cause. Was it then lightning struck it? Maybe that last night it was very, very stormy, or somebody cut it. So I will see the sign of it. If it was written or it was knocked down by a lightning, there must be some burned in it because of the order of the universe. I see that it is how it has been happening in this way. If it was from the wind, yes, it must be broken, uh, not like with cut with a saw, not straight, 100% straight. No, but you understand that the roots came out somehow. But if it was really cut very straight, a smooth way, I understand somebody else did it. Oh, although I didn't see the lightning, I didn't see the storm, and I didn't see anyone who really cut it with a saw, but definitely I decide, and I'm absolutely sure there must be a cause. But can I say that this cause happened randomly by itself? No. Why? Because the sign showing the reason why the tree is knocked down, extremely simple example, demonstrates which kind of actor it should be. Which kind of actor it should be. Lightning, storm, or a conscious being using a machine, or using an I, what is the name to cut the tree with. Okay, I couldn't remember the name. You may help me with using
You mean chop the tree or saw down the tree or?
somebody say axe. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Oh.
With an axe. Yeah. Thank you. Axe. So I understand from the sign, I don't have to see it. I don't have to see it to see who did it. Exactly the same way. Exactly the same way. If I see the things are coming into existence in such an extraordinary way, I have to look at the way they come into existence. I see the elements in it. They don't have any power to choose. They don't have any power to choose. So there must be somebody who is doing it, because what the things or how the things come into existence demonstrates that it is a conscious choice to bring it into existence. Their form is a conscious form, so that they really deliberately done the way they are designed, the way the segments are really located, and also even very interesting, the way the seed in the fruit is designed, even the way the DNA is designed in such a way that it is written everything in its history. Oh, the most amazing evidence is the DNA codes. Unfortunately, this is hijacked by materialist people by saying that these codes are making it. Although it is made by a one who has written the code there, letting me know that why a conscious being, of course, what he is going to create, recording it and letting me know that he knows the history of tangerine tree and he knows the future of tangerine tree. Accordingly, wrote everything perfectly in it, how it is going to be. And this is slightly, again, this word is really excellent. This word, I really loved it. What was it? Similar, resembling. Yeah, this one. Oh, they resemble. This is really interesting. Although the DNA structures of the things, every being, living being, resembles each other, but never the same. Never the same, just resembles. Don't misunderstood that it is a mass production of nature. No, deliberately decided to be in this way or to be a little bit. That's what the simple example the biologists give. The elements in the DNA structure, if you like, alphabet of the structure, the elements, material elements cannot be the writer of this huge, enormous information, but the elements are very simple. They say fundamentally four letters are used there. Incredible, incredible. Four elements. And these elements are used in all of the DNAs. It is extremely interesting, extremely interesting. And one element of the formula of human DNA and a mouse DNA, only one of them is different. Does it make change? Of course it makes change. Of course it does. One of them is a mouse, the other one is me. How can you compare me? It means the DNA information is written or really recorded there in such a perfect way. Who can say that this is an accidental happening, randomly developed by itself? Randomly developed. Only one thing is different, and it is a mouse. The other one is different. It is a human being. How can I really explain my human side, let alone my body, and mouse side, mouse senses, his potentials, his uh, uh, faculties, mouth faculties, all these senses, feelings, all the qualities what makes a mouse is completely different from me just because one element is different in my body. But my potentials have nothing to do with body, and mouse's potentials have nothing to do with its body either. They are completely different nature. They have no material substance in their existence. My feelings have no material substance. My consciousness, no material substance. The reasoning power, no material substance. Even all my thinking is taking place in relation to the movements of my brain. Still, the material substance of my brain has nothing to do with thinking, reflecting, material elements, nothing to do with it. So they are only like, I like this simple example, like my eye. Eye doesn't see, it is a tool. It is a tool, it doesn't see. If the something behind or not behind, non-material substances wasn't there, which is called human spirit, human life, eye doesn't see. But so eye is a tool, but human spirit, human life is the one who sees it. Human life enables the machine to work, like putting the energy in it, like for example, my computer doesn't work without electricity power or battery power, ultimately the same, but power. But putting the power, it works. Yes, correct, it works, but a conscious being must be using it in order to make a reasonable conclusions. So my feelings, consciousness will say, this is correct or this is wrong. All these decisions are taking place by ghaib, or we say here, and the strange from behind the strange veil of the unseen. So we should not really ignore that. Oh, this is my eye, but there is a conscious being behind it, seeing it. So if the eye loses its electric power, it means life. Then conscious being says, I cannot see anymore. What shall I do with it? What shall I do with it? If a machine doesn't work, the conscious user will say, come on, throw it away. If my machine doesn't work anymore, what I do, which really in my real life took place. I had a perfectly working computer or this MacBook. But the how to say, the port which receives the electricity was broken. I took it for a repair. They say, no, this piece is out of date and out of model. So there is no way to change it. Wow. So it was perfectly working, only I couldn't really supply power to it. I threw it away because I am the conscious being. Power supply is life. Machine is my body or my brain or my eye, my nerve system. So we can, these are the tools, nerve system and my brain tools. But if I lose my life, it doesn't work. So my consciousness who uses my brain still alive, but tool is not working. So when I die, what you, my friends, will do? Throw it into the grave. Why? It's no use anymore. But it doesn't mean that I am a non-material being. My conscious being disappeared. My tool disappeared. That is very enlightening for my spirit and also comforting for my spirit. Death doesn't mean I am going into non-existence. I am not in the grave. Don't come then cry there. That is my tool. Doesn't work. So I don't go to my old computer, and cry there. But I am here, don't worry. The user is here, alhamdulillah. So we understand that DNA is the most significant evidence for the unity,
Mm.
a unity of the creator of all living beings. One center is making slightly different records. They're showing that, look, I am a conscious being. I don't have to make what I do. I can make different creatures or living beings. So, but I will make it resembling each other, so that you will understand by studying one DNA, you will understand the other resembling DNAs are coming or made by the same one. But the problem is, he is from behind this veil of unseen, the main agent. So we should never ever forget. We should never ever. I need of it. When I am interacting with the beings behind it, with all the things benefiting from it, always using it, I don't see the side where this side is a veil, and some actor is giving existence to it in such a way that he is the one who creates, who gives existence to everything in the universe. What a relaxing understanding. Okay, it's too long, but I said we have to emphasize on the importance of this uh, agent, the owner, the actor is behind the veil of the unseen. So we should never ever forget this. Anything you see, there is a behind the veil of the unseen. There is a conscious actor behind it. If we keep this understanding awakened, don't you think that we are always in the presence of Creator? Perfect. So I am the created one, the one who is behind just the veil of the one who is behind the veil. It means non-material and so cannot be describable uh, being who is the owner of the universe behind the veil of every single being. So great. It is very relaxing for my spirit. Thank you very much.
Okay, I will continue. Because if you do not recognize him, you will be compelled to say, these strings are making the diamonds and other gifts on the tips themselves and offering them. Then you have to attribute to each string the meaning of a king.
Yeah, they resemble each other.
Whereas before our eyes, an unseen hand is making the strings too and attaching the gifts to them. That means everything in this palace points to that miracle displaying one rather than to themselves.
This is also interesting, isn't it? Now, rather than showing themselves, although physically we see them existing physically there, but this miracle displaying one, it means creating this thing in a miraculous way. They are witnessing its existence much brightly with, and certainly, definitely, of course, a human being can understand it.
If you do not recognize him through denying them, you fall 100 times lower than an animal.
Yeah, you deny your human reality. I think, no, if our friends have any comment or question,
So is the him capital H him?
excuse me.
Is the him a capital H him?
Ah, no, yeah, I understand. Should refer to the capital H him if you recognize him, yeah. But this is an example. In the example, the king, the owner of this town, universe. But in the example, there must be somebody. So, but in reality, it refers to uh, capital H, him, the absolute being, God. You are correct. In the text, it is always written with minuscule one, lowercase h. Okay, but we understand, inshallah.
I'll continue with the ninth proof.
Yeah, depends on our friends. If they don't have anything to say, we can continue. Yeah.
Come, my unreasoning friend. You do not recognize this palace's owner, and you do not want to recognize him because you deem his existence unlikely.
Mm. There is an interesting, this author is very careful. It's very careful in his language. First, he said, you don't recognize the owner of this palace, but, and also edit, you don't want to recognize him. It gives the reason why we don't recognize, or inshallah, we do, inshallah. But some people don't recognize, not because it doesn't make sense, not because, I mean, it is uh, impossible for a human being uh, to come to this conclusion. No, they don't want to recognize him because they don't want to admit that they should submit themselves and their existence. No, all the qualities. This is the problem to me, for my understanding. Because of human qualities, all the qualities I have belongs to me. If I say I am created, all my qualities belong to him. I am just using it. So I cannot be proud of my knowledge, especially for the scientists. They cannot be proud of their research, new foundings, and publications, because they will say, I am just a user. My creator has enabled me. Modesty, humbleness is the reason for everything. If I am not admitting my mistakes because I don't want to be modest, I want to be arrogant, self sufficient person. I don't need anyone to make me. Oh, but this, because they don't want to recognize, they are looking for every excuse to make up, to cover up their misconceptions. And they produce the funny language. Funny, it was not that funny, but Latin vocabulary, no one uses Latin language now. It is a dead language. But since they don't know, people don't know, they learn this vocabulary, Latin vocabulary. They may not know, most probably they don't, the Latin language altogether. They don't have to, but they take Latin dictionaries and find the appropriate word to name something, put a name on it, and they don't say this is a simple thing. They present it with a Latin word as if a scientific language, then scientific, representing scientific knowledge. So you don't know, but that is my specialty. You have to trust me. That is the common trick they play. We have to be very careful because they want to be proud of themselves. They want to be proud of, this is extremely important. When they say, I like it, I don't like it, I enjoyed it, I succeeded, I am something next to my name, there is PhD, blah, blah, MD, something, and professor, something. Oh, I feel special. But if one thing, I am made, and then all the claims I assume will fall down. That is the problem. Human ego. Human ego is the problem. We have to be very careful for ourselves. Yeah.
But before I continue, could I make a comment about what you just said?
Of course. Yeah.
My understanding about the naming of all the creatures, you said using Latin. My understanding is that the purpose of that is to categorize all the creatures so that the scientists can talk about them. Of course, they don't talk about the maker, but I think it's possible to categorize and give credit to the maker at the same time. The problem is that the scientists don't do it that way. But categorizing in and of itself, giving names down to the genus species, is an important way to, I think, for me anyway, comprehend the complexity of our creator's world.
Yeah. If one excellent comment, thank you. One can categorize the things, but this is a Greek tradition of categorizing. And,
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
yeah, and categorizing and studying them separately.
Mm-hmm.
The universe doesn't allow us to study one piece independently, in an isolated way from the others. They are all interconnected. Even they say electrons are communicating with each other, even they are miles and miles away. They cannot communicate with each other by themselves because they don't accept unity of the creator. The creator is demonstrating that because matter cannot communicate, doesn't have any quality to communicate. That is obvious, but they say, seems to be, because they are related to each other, but they cannot relate to each other. Can I say that one brick is located in this corner and another brick is located in this corner in the same way, corner of the wall, in the same way? So they are interconnecting with each other. Of course, living beings are moving. The bricks are static. This is just an analogy. So we shouldn't misunderstand analogy. So we cannot say that the one who put it there, the one who put the other one on the other corner, then he knows that they are making a symmetry. So it means the designer, the creator, is making a design there on purpose. The electrons doesn't have any consciousness. So what they do now, unfortunately, that is deliberately done, to my understanding, categorizing, isolating beings and reducing one tangerine and studying the tangerine there, what the scientists do, so ridiculous. Studying this tangerine in an isolated environment, it is happening in this way. But it is happening in connection with the rest of the universe. So you cannot say that it's happening there by itself. No, if it was by itself, it would be doing it with the capacity to communicate with the sun, with the star, with gravity, with other elements in its being, and it is impossible to explain. But only the way of categorizing, they escape this impossibility. But still, can they succeed? Never. How can I say that matter has consciousness? Matter has communication system from itself. How can I say that, claim that? Matter is matter. Wherever you put it, it stays there. That's it. It doesn't have any free will. So we have to know that because they don't want it. To me, I understand. You don't want to recognize him, yeah, because you deem his existence unlikely. It means, oh, I am not going to believe in an unseen being. I am deliberately a man of facts. Fact means what? What the universe is. But the universe says, I have a creator. This is the fact. This is what the universe declares is the fact, not the universe itself is the fact. They are hijacked everything, misused everything. Okay?
Can I make another comment?
Of course. Carry on, please.
So I understand exactly what you're saying about the scientists looking at the pieces isolated from each other. But and it's also my understanding that because scientists are always looking for something new to develop and new to explore. It's my understanding that they are starting to see some connections between different elements of the universe, but they never give credit to that for a creator. They just say, oh, this is related to that, but we don't know why.
It seems to be, they say. It is doing it, no?
Right.
How it does.
Mm.
And so I'm talking about the fact. When you say God is arranging everything, oh, what are you talking about? It cannot be comprehensible.
Exactly.
Now, so we are not, I'm not blaming scientists, scientific studies. I appreciate it. I'm very thankful to them. When it comes to the interpretation, it is deliberate. I don't believe this is innocent. It is an innocent act. But let's say, a university graduate or a university student, a student in a college, go to the lab and repeat what the professor or the instructor in the lab tells them, they are innocent. But the idea they are coming up with nature naturally happening, randomly happening, because he cannot calculate the details. So he said, seems to be randomly happening. Now, that is what they claim. Uh, this idea is very, very treacherous. Very, very, really, this idea is Hindi's idea. So we have to be careful about the idea. We have to also bear in mind that I'm not blaming scientist person who goes and does the study, and it is very practical to categorize them, put them in different compartments, and separate the study and get some some results. That is uh, practically useful, but useful for my bodily needs, but it is poisonous for my spiritual needs. The interpretation they present to us. This interpretation must be, we must be very careful about. Yep. Oh,
Can I just say one more comment? I'm sorry. I don't know if I should even,
no,
I'm slowing things down, but
no,
if
you don't
you,
have story to tell. No.
if you are a graduate student in science and you find something in the lab and you attribute it to the creator, you're going to be kicked out of graduate school. That's just the way it works. So it's almost like an intractable problem. Like, even if they wanted to attribute their findings to the creator, they're literally censored if they do so, and will be pretty much excommunicated from the scientific community. That's the unfortunate reality.
That is a kind of dictatorship
Mm.
is going on there. The children, the students are innocent, mostly innocent. I mean, I don't know, 90%, 99% of them are innocent. But one these obstinate ones are, I mean, that is who, I don't know who they are, but that's a problem. But my, if you like, struggle, fight, not with people. I don't care about people. Whatever they do, they will be responsible for it. And I'm not going to be a judge for them to say good, bad people. No, I don't know what their intention is. But I know what they are saying, and their interpretation is totally blasphemous to the truth, rejecting the truth. That is what the problem for me is, nothing to do with people. But as you said, some of them, for example, publish an article which doesn't refer to God, but definitely may have stronger belief than me. Really possible. Not, why not? Very, very possible. As a scientist, to believe in God is almost impossible. Not to believe in God is impossible. As any scientist, for any scientist. Okay. This,
Okay.
now we are something interesting.
You deviate into denial because you cannot comprehend with your narrow brain his wondrous arts and acts. Whereas,
Excuse me,
sorry.
this is a very practical matter. I wrote here, La ilaha is comprehensible, illallah is incomprehensible.
Mm.
That is absolutely correct. But incomprehensible within our human physical capacity, so that we can imagine, we can see, we can hear, we can smell. No, it is income. For my intelligence, yes. But without La ilaha, which is the comprehensible one, we cannot really conclude illallah. So that what is behind this comprehensible process, as we are going here, we have been going through with the text, that this cannot happen by chance. This cannot happen by the things, material things themselves. There must be behind the veil and unseen. It means ghaib. So La ilaha is comprehensible. I can share it nothing to do with this text, but it is practically very important. I know all of our friends here are practicing Muslims. They pray. So when we use the very flashy rhetoric saying that when we are praying, we are in the presence of God, that is very misleading. And even the innocent people start I am in the presence of God. You cannot imagine God, so that how can you be in the presence of it? But you can use this process that we learn from the Quran, La ilaha illallah. That is the formula, solves the whole equation of the existence. La ilaha illallah. Very simple. I am not standing up, bowing, making prostration in front of anything in this world. That is very freeing and relaxing for human spirit. I am not prostrating before anything. You can imagine this. Huh? Are you prostrating before a king? No. And money? No. And authority? No. I mean, are you prostrating before the food you are eating? No. No. What are you doing? Turning to Kaaba, which is the representative of unity of God, and I'm not prostrating before Kaaba. Kaaba is stone. I'm absolutely sure about it. I've seen and touched. I know you are a stone, nothing else. So, but you represent what? The creators not being in this world. Now, not being in this world, it is the representative of not God. Not being God is not being in this world. So, by saying that, no, I know I am in the presence of God who is not here. No, so I cannot imagine him. I cannot imagine him. So, but I can imagine that I am not prostrating before anything of this universe. That is the universe I'm talking about, of this universe. So I can imagine it. I can be even physically practice it. I'm not prostrating before anything. So when I prostrate, there is nothing, no object that I am really having here or imagining also in front of me that I'm prostrating before it. Nothing. It is very honorable human feeling. It gives me the honor. I don't disdain the whole universe at all to be thankful to. No, I'm not thankful to the universe. I am not, let alone I am not thankful to my boss, to my income, profession, status. No, I know they are here, and I know I'm not prostrating before them. It is very freeing human dignity. I am amazed about this La ilaha. So La ilaha is comprehensible. There is nothing that I can prostrate in front of. But reality is there. I am prostrating. Now, this is the solution. I am prostrating before the one who is the source of existence of this universe that I cannot imagine. So I am very sensitive about the language. While we are praying, we are in the presence of God. It may cause misconceptions. All right. I think we have to finish the paragraph.
Okay, all right. Whereas the true unlikelihood, real difficulties, hardships, and awesome trouble lie in not recognizing him.
This is the problem. We have to recognize it, not comprehend it. Okay.
For if we recognize him, this whole palace, this world becomes as easy, as trouble-free as a single thing, becomes the means to the abundance and plenty around us. If we do not recognize him and he does not exist, then everything becomes as difficult as this whole palace, because everything is as skillfully made as the palace.
Yeah. I think we covered this because everything is as skillfully made as the palace. I think I think somewhere beginning of this today's discussion, we touched upon it. Yeah.
Then neither the abundance nor the plenty would remain. Indeed, not one of these things which we see would pass to anyone's hand, let alone ours. Look at just the jar of conserve attached to this string.
Yeah.
If I'll keep reading and then we can come.
Yeah. Yep. Continue, please. Oh, you can. We don't hear you.
Oh,
Okay.
no, you don't hear me?
No, now, of course, you said I'll continue read.
Oh, sorry. Where did you not hear me? Should I?
No, I think we heard everything.
Conserve of jar of conserve attached to this string. If
Yes.
it had not emerged from his hidden miracle displaying kitchen, we could not have bought it for $100, although we buy it now for 40 cents.
Yeah.
And then the footnote about the conserves.
Here.
Jar of conserve indicates the gifts of divine mercy, like melons, watermelons, pomegranates, and coconuts.
Yeah. So we have to be very thankful to the Creator. He gives us, but although the example says, although we buy it now for 40 cents, no, from the market we buy it, but as far as the producer, creator of whatever we buy and benefit from it, for watermelon, for example, one watermelon, we pay nothing, not 40 cents either, nothing. But what we are obliged to do as human beings to be an honest and really not to be in contradiction within ourselves, just recognize him. That's it. Recognize him. That is ubudiyah. Thank you very much. I think we can stop here.
Yes.
No. Oh, sorry, I spoke long today, but I thought these are somehow practically important. Yeah. would you like to add anything, anything, and you would like to, or somebody else? So, sorry. No, I think we can stop it now. Yeah.
Yes.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله